Hello everyone, welcome back to Book Reviews with Anne. Today we are going to do a book called Unmentionables. Yes, and it is as fabulous as it looks. So, as I said, my name's Anne. I usually do book reviews. I do them usually 2 at a time. I like to do a romance novel. I'm a huge romance novel fan, and then one that is any genre at all. I love all genres. If you'd like to ask me to read a book and review it for you, I would be more than happy to do so if you put it in the comments below. If you like the channel, please feel free to like and subscribe to my channel. All right, so back to Unmentionables. No, this book is not a romance novel. It's kind of like an anti-romance novel. So before I get too far into it, let's read the back, right? Finally, a scandalously honest illustrated guide to the secrets of life as a Victorian lady, giving you detailed advice on what to wear, where to relieve yourself, how to conceal your loathsome addiction to menstruating, what to expect on your wedding night, how to be the perfect Victorian wife, why masturbating will kill you, and more. If Unmentionables does not secure the Pulitzer Prize for Most Fascinating Book Ever, the whole gig is rigged. Therese Oneill opens the doors to everything we've always wanted to know about the Victorian era but didn't think to ask. Knickers with no crotches? Check. Arsenic as a facial scrub? Check. The infrequency of bathing and the stench of the Victorian human body? Checkmate. Hilarious, horrifying, shocking, and revelatory. Unmentionable is for every girl who pictured herself running through a field of wildflowers in a silk dress with Little House on the Prairie boots, only to discover that she has nits in her hair, her clothes have never been washed, and she sleeps with her poop under her bed in a bowl. The miracle of a book, and one of my favorite reads ever, Unmentionable, will be my go-to gift this year. All hail Therese Oneill for uncovering all that dirty, dirty laundry. So, the back of this book absolutely does justice to what this book is about. So first of all, I guess I will do disclaimer. If you are sensitive to talking about periods or poop or unmentionables, if your body makes you uncomfortable to talk about, if feminism makes you uncomfortable to talk about, this is probably not the book for you. They also do talk about sex as a lusty meter. I guess it's a lusty meter of maybe 3. They talk about sex, but it's not in a fun, pleasure way. There is no eroticism in this book, except for, I guess, what men tried to envision that women would like. It's not good. They failed. They failed terribly. So it's mostly about Victoria era, so it's like 19th century. I love the way that this... the way that the author takes you along on the journey is like you were taking her hand and going on an adventure, and she's narrating with you, almost like I kind of think of like a Christmas Carol-ish, when they take Mr. Scrooge back in the past and in the present. It's kind of like that. She's kind of taking you on an adventure of what it was like. And I think it's really fun because not everybody, I think most people that read romance novels, I hope they would know that they're not romanticizing the past. It's totally a fiction thing, and that it's at least that's how I think about it. It's a fantasy world. It's fantasy, and it's fun to pretend in this fantasy. But some people do romanticize the past. I have been guilty of it when I was younger, until I realized things like, oh yeah, I would have no rights, and I'm weird, so I'd probably be in an insane asylum and a spinster, and they would hate me. So this book kind of talks about all of that, of what it's really like to go back in the 19th century, just kind of remind you of things like, periods. Imagine a period in the 19th century. It sucks. So, but it's very funny. I really liked, it's almost like sarcastic humor, but she gives you actual, like paragraphs from cited sources or like magazines at the time or books at the time that you can kind of look at and just like, really, wow. I don't think any of us are really surprised by it, but it is still like, oh man, that is not, you probably shouldn't have said that. and how dare you? Or I'm pissed off on your behalf. If I could give a sticker, I absolutely would give 2, but as I said before, I am a huge feminist. I love the witty sense of humor that she has whenever she wrote this book. Any of my friends that are females, I would give this book. I have 2 teenage daughters, I would have them read this book. If you do have young kids, do know that they do talk about sex and things, but and they also talk about masturbating. So, I mean, obviously by the cover, you can tell it's not the most modest book ever. So, just as a heads up. But it's awesome. It is awesome. I do love it. How much can you get this guy for? So, first of all, the book was written in 2016. So just, if you're curious when, it is not dated. You can get it on Thrift Books. Well, you were able to get it on Thrift Books for $7.29. It is not available as of today. I looked at it right before I did the review. It was not available. So you might have to go somewhere else. On Amazon, I found it on a hardback copy like this guy. This guy is hardback for $25. Paperback, I found it for $10.28. And on Barnes & Noble, I found it for $17.99 in paperback. So if anybody is looking for it and you are a Thrift Books fan and you're like, oh my God, what happened to it? It was me. I took it. I totally took it. And I don't regret it because I love it. And I'm so happy it's part of my collection. I will be reading this again and I do adore it. So those are my book reviews for today. As I said, if you have any books that you would prefer me to read or you would like me to review, please let me know. If you didn't like that I said something, or if you'd like to add something in, you think I should include something, please let me know. One last thing real quick. If you are wanting to read in a book club with me, I am in a book club and we are currently reading Alice Hoffman's Magic Lessons. It's the first book to the Practical Magic series. And if I get people that give me a thumbs up on it, or my sister says that she wants a thumbs up on it, I will totally do chapter reviews as we go along and tell you which chapters to follow along with, so you can follow along with us on our weekly readings, because we read so many chapters a week and it is awesome. Please join us if you want, if you like to. It is beautiful, kind of sad as you imagine, because it is based around, if you haven't seen Practical Magic, it's about witches. So it's really fun, and if anybody's interested, I will read the back of the book and you can join us in. If nobody's interested, no worries. I will just do a book review on it at the end. So let me know. And yeah, that's it. All right. I hope everybody has an amazing week and hangs in there through their Monday.